What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Raising Kanan Power Book 3. Lord, I always forget that part. Season 3, episode 6. So listen, Neek gone. Okay? Neek been gone for a week. Listen, let me say this to the people. We are all upset. We are all heartbroken. I didn't see nobody passing a fume program around on social media, but I need y'all to just understand Neek is gone, okay? Rock come home, Neek baby mama, a pressure cooker, whatever the girl name is. She done pulled a weapon on Rock, talking about where Neek at. Where Neek at? Now, she threw something out there that I know a lot of people probably caught when she said that's what you do. You did the same thing to High Post. You get close so you can eat up, take what they got, and then you spit them out. Did y'all peep that? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but she threw High Post in there. Now, we ain't heard High Post name since the beginning of season 1. But here go High Post again. So, again, that might mean a lot. That might not mean nothing. But she said that basically what Rock was doing with Unique is the same thing she did to get close to High Post, whatever. Neither here nor there. We know that Rock ended up getting that weapon away from that girl because she ain't mean it, okay? If you're going to pull a weapon, be ready to use a weapon. And Rock could tell, look in her eyes at that girl, even though anybody holding a weapon on you is still dangerous, but Rock could tell that girl ain't mean it. But they ended up sitting down and having a conversation. And the conversation that they had, she let us know it's been a week since Unique has been missing, that they did go to the tailor shop. The police went to the tailor shop and they saw all the blood and everything, and basically it ain't looking good. The police ain't really putting no whole lot of effort into finding who did it, but it ain't looking good. Now, here's the part, and I know y'all gonna say, really, B, why do you go so deep? Why do you do this? Why do you torture yourself with the basics of Forensic 101? I don't know. It's too many years of Law and Order. But they say later on in the episode that they found a metal pipe with brain matter on it. If you found the pipe that was used to unalive Unique, then you also found fingerprints that belong to a whole felon that just got out of jail. I'm sorry, case closed. Now, I get it that they're trying to play up the fact that the police don't care. I get that. They're trying to play it up that the police don't care. But the police ain't got to put no effort into dusting the apparent murder weapon and putting those fingerprints in the system. Like, that take 5 minutes. Anyway, moving on. Down at the studio, exactly what we all predicted. Lou has Famous back in the studio, and Famous is laying his, was it called 411 or what's the 411? Whatever the daggone song is, but he's telling on himself again. And in the song, he's talking about how he had unalived that dude from last season. Now, Lou can tell that Famous is in the pocket, but Lou can also tell that Famous is in the pocket because Famous is talking what he know, and he talking that this is real. This isn't no hyperbole. This is well, maybe if situation. This is his situation, and Lou is basically telling him, look, you gotta dial into that. You gotta dial into that pain and dial into that moment. He was like, you're so emotional about it because you feeling it. And then Famous opens up to Lou about not being able to sleep and yada yada yada. And I think this is triggering something in Lou. I don't know what it. Listen, I'm gonna jump. Y'all know I like to jump around. Later on in this episode, Lou talks about how Rock manipulated him into doing a lot of things. For whatever reason, this Scrap situation, I think, is sitting on Lou. Scrap and D-Wiz is really sitting on Lou. Now, granted, we just met them at the beginning with the D-Wiz situation, but I'm really confused. I don't know, because this ain't the Lou that we thought we were getting, that, I don't know, that got feelings. It's weird. It's really weird. Because the Lou we thought we were getting was absolutely Rock's right hand, batter up. I can trust you. I know you're not going to screw it up. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody has a conscience. Everybody's, and I guess everybody has a point of no return, a breaking point, or whatever. Anyway, down to the precinct, Detective Howard once again is talking to the task force, and the task force guy is basically, in my opinion, I think he's setting Howard up. I think he's throwing stuff out to see what Howard says and see how Howard reacts. Now, I think Howard did a really good job of basically letting him know, look, you really don't have nothing. I mean, if you think you got something, go ahead and run with it. But for real, your dots ain't connected. You don't have no evidence, and I don't know what else to tell you. But with that being said, he then ends up going to his boss and asking his boss if he can get go move over to narcotics. He wants to get a job in narcotics, and his boss lets him know, look, you show you want it, but eventually he convinces him that that's what he wants to slide over there. But then we see the task force come back around to Howard and let Howard know that they're on to a whole nother case dealing with Sal and his son and the witness to this low-life drug dealer situation, which of course is Marvin, and that takes us back to, what's the girl named Tony, the white girl at the club that he was messing with in season 1. It brings us all the way back around to that situation, and so now of course Howard sees that it's Marvin, and the task force was like, yeah, you don't need a rocket science to connect these dots, right? Literally, this woman said that she was going to testify, and then she comes up unalive, and Sal's son is the one that did it. Like dot. Now Sal ain't here either. Like, it don't take a rocket science to put all that together. Then we go down and we see that Butter is auditioning for some record execs. Marvin is in the room. Now, I don't understand who let Marvin in the room. Marvin should have been outside from the beginning. But the girls are doing their little song. They're doing their little choreography. And, when they get done, of course, Marvin does what Marvin does. He lets the people know, look, that was a great performance, and my daughter should be the lead. Did you not see what I saw? Of course, Jukebox gets embarrassed, and she goes off on him, and she tells him to leave, and she's pissed off. And he's in his feelings, because he's really just trying, to be a good dad. He's really just trying to make up for lost time. He ain't mean no harm. But it was definitely embarrassing, and it definitely could have put Juke in a really bad situation. Now, later on in the episode, we see the girls are getting ready to fight because the lead singer, or the wannabe lead singer, told Juke that her daddy, need to be controlled. He was like a dog off his leash or whatever. And Juke was like, what you're not going to do is talk about my father. And they was getting ready to fight. But then old girl came in there and told them, look, y'all fighting each other, and y'all need to be figuring out, like, y'all don't have no direction, y'all don't have no sound. The record execs like what they heard, but I didn't. So y'all need to get it together. Y'all need to figure it out. And she was like, we need to figure out who the lead singer is. She said, but neither one of y'all want to take it. She was like, she told Crystal, you think that you're supposed to have it, that you're entitled to it. Juke, you act like you don't want it. And the other girl, child, is Crystal the other girl? Whoever the third girl is, maybe Crystal's the third girl. Anyway, the girl next door, she was like, and you don't have enough self-confidence to think you deserve it. I really feel like the manager knows that Juke is the better singer, but Juke is just not showing the initiative to be the better singer. Listen, the better singer in these groups isn't always the person who's the lead, i.e. the Supremes. Florence Ballard could sing Rings Around Diana Ross, but Diana Ross had that aggressive kill 'em mentality, and she became the lead. Same thing with Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson was the more talented, but he wasn't the better singer. Anyway, I know I went way back on that one. I could probably think of some more updated examples, but I ain't got the energy for that. So anyway, that's that, child. I ain't got time to spend a whole lot of time on Butter. They're going to end up being one-hit wonders. Ain't nobody thinking about Butter. So back down to the apartment, Famous comes home, and Ludin told him that he needs to cleanse his spirit and he needs to clean his conscience and all of this. So Famous decided that he gonna confess to Kanan about what happened and that his mama was the one that put the weapon in his book bag. Famous, how did you think that story was gonna go? So basically, Kanan put Famous out of his own apartment. He told Famous he said, when I get back, you and your stuff better be out of here. Famous was like, wait a minute, what? He said, so you knew what was going on and you didn't tell me? You let me go to school? Like, you let that happen? Which I'm with Kanan on that one. I understand. He said, well, Rock is scary. He was like, I'm scary too. And I think we've been gradually seeing this shift in Kanan, but that was the switch. If y'all didn't see that switch, when he walked up on Famous and he said, I'm scary too, he is no longer the Kanan we saw season 1. He just isn't that kid, okay? See, and he told him, but I'm with Kanan on that one. Like, it's one thing to not say anything in front of Rock and stop her. It's something totally different to let me walk out the daggone apartment with that thing in my book bag. Like, it's no way in the world I would have let my friend do that. Now, I wouldn't have said nothing to his mama. I'd have let her do her thing. But I absolutely would not have let him walk out of the door. Now, that's just another conversation. So, I'm with you on that one, Kanan. So, of course, Kanan immediately went to confront his mother. And while him and his mama are arguing, who shows up is the social worker. Now, the reality of the situation is Kanan know how to play the game, and so does Rock. So, they did what they had to do to get the social worker off their back. And, of course, she was like, I'm satisfied with what I've seen, Kanan, you need to, we got to keep, basically, she was like, I'm going to keep monitoring. But in the meantime and in between time, so far so good. I like what I saw, blah, blah, blah. And then Kanan basically let her know, look, you keep saying you're making these decisions because you love me. I need you to just leave me the hell alone. Like, I don't know how many different ways you want me to tell you. Just leave me alone. Like, everything you do in the name of that you love me. But that's why Lou don't mess with you no more. She was like, you ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with me and Lou. Well, he ain't wrong. He not wrong. You want to control everybody's life, and then you get a problem where you don't understand when people push back. Like, all Lou asked you for, Rock, was to let him play with his studio and play with his music and keep it clean. That's all he wanted from you. He said, I'll keep working. I mean, I know he was MIA a couple of times. I get that. He wasn't where he was supposed to be when you needed him to be there. But ultimately, he told you, I just need you to respect that I'm trying to do something different over here. You couldn't do it, Rock. You couldn't do it. Anyway, back down to Unique's place. Baby mama come home and finds that Ronnie is ransacking the house, okay? Ronnie done stole all the money and all the jewelry. First of all, I'm going to just have to say this. How stupid are you? Rock told you that it was probably Ronnie. At the very least, you knew Unique wasn't coming home. You said yourself that you knew Unique wasn't coming home. Why was that money somewhere that Ronnie could find it? You know that's all you got coming. Okay, you was a hustler's girlfriend, baby mama. He ain't getting no unemployment benefits. There's no life insurance policy. None of the above. There is no reason in the world why Ronnie should have found none of that. It's been a week, girl. It has been a week. At the very least, after you had that conversation with Rock, and Rock told you that it was probably Ronnie, and the two of y'all came to the realization that Unique is gone. That money should have been somewhere else. I don't care if you buried it in the backyard. But it shouldn't have been somewhere where Ronnie could find it. Are you stupid? Now, maybe the jewelry. I probably wouldn't have done nothing with the jewelry. Let him take the damn jewelry. Child, what you going to do with it? You going to do the same thing he going to do with it? Pawn it for half of what it's worth? Let him take the jewelry. But them stacks of money? Stupid. And basically, Ronnie told you, he ain't tell you Unique wasn't coming back, but he gave you the look, and you knew it, and he knew it, and basically, you better get up out that house, okay? Then he took the money and the jewelry down to Juliana and let Juliana know he was trying to get on. Juliana said, I got you, but this got to stay between the two of us. You don't tell nobody, and I won't tell nobody, and this is going to be me and you, and that's going to be her downfall. Let me tell you something. I don't think Ronnie going to take Juliana out. I really think it's going to be Rock. But let's assume for a minute that it is Ronnie. That's your downfall because nobody even knows that y'all are doing business. So therefore, if you come up missing or something come up, it happened to you, nobody's going to think about Ronnie because they don't even know that you're handling things. And Juliana, you really think you running something? You really think you got a leg up on Ronnie. Ronnie's crazy. Nobody control him. He crazy as hell. Anyway, so down to the bar, Lulu is still drinking water out of a shot glass. Lulu, if you drinking water, just drink water. You ain't gotta drink water out of a shot glass, okay? Or out of a whiskey glass. Just drink you some bottle, get you get you some Deer Park, some Aquafina. Why are you pouring it in a glass? No ice, no nothing. Just a whiskey glass. But anyway, he's still sober. Marvin in his feelings because he feel like Juke gonna be mad at him. He feel like, Juke, he know he kind of messed up. He did too much. He went too far. Now back on the block, we see Kanan is running his boys, and the white boy is still pissed off because he's like, listen, I told you before, I need, I can't keep doing this because we went into business together. But if I can't even get the guys to do legitimate business, I mean, you're paying them more than I'm paying them, which means they're never going to come and work for me. And then he threatens Kanan, right? He threatens Kanan with, pretty much, he said, what you going to do? You're a kid. Like, I'm not scared of you. Baby, Kanan told him, but you should be. Like, you may not want to play them games with me. And you saw the fear creep up in that man's eyes. He thought he really had one leg up on Kanan. And who was watching this whole exchange between Kanan and the white boy? Crazy ass Ronnie. So Ronnie rolls up on Kanan and tells Kanan, look, I really admire what you got going on here, but I can really help you make more money and create a bigger enterprise. But, I need you rocking with me. He said, we got a party that I want you to come to. Kanan was like, nah, I'm good. He was like, nah, I'm telling you. He said, why would I want to come to your party? He said, because everybody, all the players are going to be at this party. Like, everybody you need to know is going to be at the party. Now, while this is going on, Rockton met up with Detective Howard, basically to ask about Unique. And Detective Howard let her know, look, Unique dead, okay? It ain't looking good. Technically, it's missing persons because we ain't found a body. But with all of the blood, and that's when they talked about the pipe with the brain matter, he said, it ain't looking good, okay? Now, what I want to know is, do y'all know that that's Unique's blood? And if you know it's Unique's blood, then why y'all ain't run the fingerprints? If you ran the blood, you could have ran the fingerprints, right? I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the murder weapon. I'm stuck on the fact that y'all done found the whole murder weapon, but nobody thought that nobody felt like it was that y'all needed to run the fingerprint. Anyway, neither here nor there, Chad. Neither here nor there. And again, we're not talking about DNA. I know somebody gonna be like, it was dead. I ain't talking about running nobody's DNA. I said a fingerprint. They've been running fingerprints since the 1800s. Maybe. But damn sure since 1990. Anyway. Jukebox cleared all her tests to go into the military. She still ain't told nobody yet. I don't think she's obligated yet. I could be wrong. I never joined the military, so I don't know the process. I know there is a point of no return. I know that there is a point once you sign your oath, that's it. So I don't think she's done that yet because, but she is eligible. She passed all her medical exams and stuff like that. Her and Marvin have a conversation. Marvin apologizes and she accepts his apology. And, of course, he starts getting all excited again about her being the lead singer and stuff. And he was like, I'm sorry. I'm making this about me again. You're right. I'm doing it again. I'm making it about me. He said, Juke, I'm just not trying to fuck this up. Like, we cool again. We back on good terms. Like, can you help me? And Juke was like, so you want me to help you be a better father to me? He was like, okay, now that you say it out loud, I know it sounds crazy. I was cracking up. That whole conversation was funny to me. And I have loved, look, I hope Marvin don't go nowhere. I mean, I know eventually Marvin's going to die. I know. If this show runs its course, eventually Marvin is going to die. But Marvin, I'm loving Marvin. I'm loving the character development of Marvin. We see Rock roll up on Lulu. It don't go well, okay? Rock, is trying to make good with Lulu, and Lulu is like, listen. She said, the club looks nice. Looks like you're doing some great things. He was like, did you come down here to steal this from me too? So then they get into an argument about what Rock wanted from Lou and what Lou wanted from Rock. And finally, Rock was like, listen, let me tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to put all of this on me. You're not going to sit here and act like you wasn't in it like I was in it, okay? Yeah, you was my hitman. Yeah, you put some people down, but we ain't going to sit here and act like it was a one-sided situation and you didn't understand the business and understand what needed to be done. Lou's argument is you put me there. Like, you made me this person before I had an opportunity to figure out who I wanted to be, because you were in the business and you basically recruited me and Marvin, and I didn't make a decision for myself. The conversation didn't end well. Rock left, Lou sat down, and he started drinking again. And as far as we can tell, Lou never stopped drinking the rest of this episode. He was hallucinating. He keeps seeing Scrappy everywhere. And he just can't shake it, okay? He can't shake this guilt that he feels and whatever the situation is that he got going on with Rock. Again, I'm confusion. But, okay. We see Marvin at the park with his accountability partner, okay? And the guy says, you know what, I think you're right. I think writing an article would be a great idea. I think, he said, but, you know, if I write this article, you know, I got to talk to you, talk to the family, you know, interview everybody. I got to really tell your story. Now, to me, that would be a red flag, because Marvin, I get it. You wanna see Jukebox do well, but the flip side of that is you're opening up your family to scrutiny, because you can't tell the whole story. I mean, you could show the connection between your dad, who clearly was a musical guy, but what about the rest of it? Like, you know, people are bound to do research, connect the dots, see your face, see Rock's face. Like, I don't know. It probably ain't a good idea. And then while they're there, they run into a guy that used to work at the club that recognized Marvin from messing with Tony D. Was it her name, Tony D? And of course, Marvin was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know me. Like I said, you don't know me. But the flip side of that is, you're sitting next to a reporter. He peeped it, and he know Marvin lying. And the first thing he gonna do is do some research on who this Tony D person is. He knows the person is from a club and that it's a woman. It ain't gonna take a lot, and it ain't gonna take a rocket science to connect dots, as the task force guy said. Kanan takes Jukebox and Jukebox, the other girl from the group, down to this party. This party is one of those parties we used to hear about all the time back in the 90s, at the height of the whole, you know, drug pen situation, where all the hustlers would be at the club, right? And we see Kanan getting introduced to all the players, including, is it Ishmael? Is that his name? Ishmael? And his wife. And they basically let Kanan know, look, we knew your daddy, you know, your fake daddy. And, you know, you just a chip off the old block. Ronnie tells us that you running things, like that you got this great enterprise. And he said, look, we're basically trying to go into business with you, trying to elevate your game. You can make more money, you know, you running in circles trying to sell weed. We can put you on something more expensive. We can put you on something you can make more money. Of course, Kanan is excited, and Juke ain't feeling it. And Juke realizes what Kanan is doing, because he was like, you know, your business. And you know, Juke was like, what business? What he talking about? What business you got, Kanan? What business you got? So later on in the night, Ishmael was like, my bad if I spoke out of turn, you know, in front of those young ladies. And Kanan was like, look, I keep family and business separated. He was like, that's how it should be. And we see, basically, he accepts their proposal to go into business with them. And I'm going to just say this. Breeze is in that room. Now, I already told y'all who I think Breeze is, but Breeze is in that room. We also started to see a little. I think we actually even got almost a smile out of Ronnie at one point. And at the end of the night, Juke tried to get Kanan to leave. Kanan wouldn't leave. He stayed. He sent them home. And at the end of the night, he's in the picture with all of the drug dealers and all of the hustlers. Right? Boom. look, Kanan is off and running. Rock, you ain't getting him back. It's a wrap. Now, y'all might eventually be able to come to some sort of peace, but baby, you're not getting him back. It's a wrap. It's off and running. It's gone. Poor Rock, she is a landlord and she is in over her head. Child, the building done flooded. She gonna tell the lady, what you call me for? Why you ain't call a plumber? And she was like, baby, I'm sorry, the landlord calls the plumber. I don't call the plumber, okay? So she lets Marvin know, look, I don't know about this landlord shit. Like, at the end of the day, I've been running from something that I like. At the end of the day, this is who I am. I'm a drug dealer, and I can't run from it. That's what I am. That's who I am. I'm a drug dealer. I can't stop it. So we see her go down to the fish man and basically get back on. And he told her, he said, listen, I don't know about this in and out stuff. You told me you were out, and now you telling me you want to get back in. I'm telling you now, I'm going to let you back in, but there's only one way out. I said, okay now. Last but not least, we see drunk-ass Lulu show up down to Scrap's mother's house and confesses. Now, it sounds like from his confession, he tried to keep everybody out of it except for him. But I'm sorry, again, the line I've been saying, it don't take a rocket scientist to connect the dots of who all was involved, okay? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put all of these dots together. Now, Ronnie shows up at Kanan's house first thing the next morning with his package, and they get busy. That's the episode. Let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.